In this edition of Eurasia Talks, and in a rare interview, we're joined by Edil Baisalov, the Deputy Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us today on Euronews. What is your assessment of the recent parliamentary elections and the objective to strengthen parliamentary democracy in your country?
Well, we were very pleased with the assessment of many international monitoring groups that have come to observe the elections, and they all celebrated that it was free and fair elections where the people of Kyrgyzstan had the opportunity to elect their representatives. And of course, these elections were the first step. We are moving away from proportional party representation to the constituencies, 30 constituencies, where they elect 3 representatives, including at least of mixed gender. So we are guaranteed, and actually I can report to you with pride that we will have 30 women in our 90-seat parliament. And yes, we are looking forward to working together with this parliament, taking forward our country.
What would you say was the biggest thing you learned from these elections, taking it away and implementing moving forwards?
Of course, we are a very young population. We have 2/3 of our country are younger than 32. And so we had many young voters. It was completely new picture because, you know, next year we will be celebrating, as many of our brotherly, neighborly countries, 35 years of our independence.
Yes.
And so I think it is a time that we are closing the chapter of being a post-Soviet transition countries, each of us, including Kyrgyzstan. We are finding our own path. And so there is a new generation. We have now a new generation of voters. They've never lived in Soviet Union. They never lived in the 90s. They didn't see this transition. And so it is actually a very good momentum of hope and optimism. And we do know with confidence that tomorrow is better than today.
In this rapidly evolving geopolitical world, how are you positioning your economy and your security regarding your neighbors, you know, and obviously with that, you know, how is the war in the region affecting that?
In March 2025, leaders of Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan announced to the world final border agreements between all the 3 countries. And now in Central Asia, all our internal and external borders have been agreed and delineated, demarcated. And our national leaders, they enjoy very close personal relations, meeting almost every month, formally, informally. And the new trust and bonding between the national leaders, it is, of course, all of our nations are growing together. And we have declared the ideal of building a region of shared prosperity. We are worried about the conflicts near and far, but we are focused on our own pragmatic goals of building prosperous countries. And we are a natural gateway. We are building on the legacy of the historic Silk Road. And in Kyrgyzstan, we will be completing the new transcontinental railroad.
I want to ask you about the European Union and any message that you have for the European Union as the EU sanctions your banks over alleged Russian links. What would you say to them?
Well, we are in constant dialogue with our European Union colleagues and with individual European countries. Obviously, we are worried that there is a misunderstanding. And, you know, Russian Federation is our top partner, has been in trade, in our relations. We have hundreds of thousands of labor migrants. Obviously, they will be, you know, there will be remittances. But I've been in Brussels and I have asked our European colleagues to provide for the mechanism where, for example, dual-use goods, that they tell us, that European businesses notify us, whereas any of the Kyrgyz entities are buying any of those dual-use. And of course, they don't want to bother. And quite a lot of times, we are, of course, frustrated with some of the sanctions that I think that we believe are, you know, they just want to And they find the weakest links. We are committed to working with them, explaining and pursuing our own pragmatic interests of national development. And we are focused on our own internal affairs.
Now, Central Asia is a region of peace now. The C5 summit, Central Asian summit in Samarkand, was a sight to behold when we saw, your president, the 5 leaders sat together. What is the symbolism of that?
All of our national leaders, they're enjoying very close personal relations of friendship, of brotherhood between all of our nations, down to the streets, down to children, it's communicated throughout social media. And therefore, of course, we have declared to the world that we will be building a regional joint market with open borders, a region of shared prosperity. And that's a vision that we want to communicate to the world.
What is your key priority then for the success of that regional cooperation?
Obviously, we need, we are looking at Afghanistan. We are still worried at Afghanistan. We are a landlocked or land-linked region, so we are interested in access to the world transport links. So in Islamabad and the port of Karachi is very important for us, the route, the closest seaport to Kyrgyzstan. We are very much excited about the new route named after President Trump.
Yeah.
Our Azerbaijani colleagues call it Zangezur corridor. That will open up Central Asia to the Middle East, to Turkey, to Europe. And there are many good news actually coming from Central Asia. Countries like Kyrgyzstan, Qatar, many other smaller middle powers, lots of responsible actors of the international scene, we must be focused on strengthening and revitalizing the United Nations. And our country is seeking a seat in the United Nations Security Council. And I'm happy to report that all of our neighbors, all our international partners, Central Asian countries supporting our bid. Elections are next June, so we are responsible actors that will play our role in keeping the United Nations alive.
Edil Baisalov, thank you so much for joining us on Eurasia Talks on Euronews. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.